president in 2024, we want to definitely know what y'all laughing at.
Biggest Kanye fan. Soon as I see anything with Kanye that is huge and talked about everywhere, I step back.
An Imagineer. I'm a visionary.
Every time they've used Kanye as an excuse or a distraction, something went down that we were not paying attention to. There's a war about to happen. There's a straight up war about to happen.
Really? War? If you ask me, we're already in a war. Come over to the TMVT. Y'all know it's the TRU-Man vibe talk. Welcome. This is Ray Black of TRU-Man Podcast, your life coach of encouragement, where we reflect on the work and worth of a man. We focus on gold paradigms and diamond principles. Recently, Kanye said he's an Imagineer and a visionary. I like both of those terms and his seriousness, so I'm torn on him. Sometimes I think he needs to hit the pause button, and other times he at least inspires thought. Freeze frame, let's talk about something else though. Is it me, or does it seem like the end of the last few years there's been this cycle of chaos going into every new year? It's been like a mounting wave of doom for over the last 5 years, hasn't it? Going into 2019, 2020, 21, 22, and now going into 2023. Think back over the last 5 years in your mind. It seems that everything in the world is going 300 miles an hour on the freeway of life. What does the world look like through your eyes? Let's open up the conversation. This is the countdown to the Charge Up 2023 edition. There is now no pause on the continuing state of chaos in our world. It's breaking news after breaking news, and it's like there will be no shortage of attention-grabbing headlines. We got the Great Reset, the Great Resignation, the Great Migration, and to say nothing of our climate crisis and all the weather events that it has caused. And much of that'll be old news by next week. That's how fast things are moving. That's what 300 miles an hour in life looks like. These are very real life events. But these events also distract us on what's center in our lives if we let them. Oh yeah, and President Biden, he turned 80. So, including today, there are exactly 40 days left in the year, with the number 40 being that symbol of completion. 40 weeks of pregnancy, 40 days Jesus was tempted. One internet site says that the number 40 symbolizes new life, new growth, transformation, and a change from one great task to another great task. This is what we're here to focus on today. We want to go from one great task to another. Hopefully, your 2022 was full of progress. And as we move into 2023, if it wasn't, then it's really time to game up. With 40 days left in the year, we can get a head start on a new year and find new life, new growth, and transformation. This is a very good time to start your countdown to the Charge Up 2023 edition. Let's go. In this 4-part series, we'll talk about getting geared up for the coming new year. We'll start with a sky view for 2022 and then with a supercharge for 2023. For today's opening segment, we'll cover sky level view ending 2022, shaking and shedding the past year, and visualizing the new year. These are important. Stay with me. With a plan, the year will go by very fast. We want to aim to build momentum with our plans and our activities. Without a plan, the year comes us like a slow-moving cloud. And life is something that happens to us instead of something that we engage. That's something we want to avoid. That is, living life passively instead of actively. I've been under that cloud before, where life is just happening around me without my active involvement, and that's not a good mental space to be in. Check this out. Tomorrow, is going to look like something to everybody. Today is the tomorrow we thought about yesterday that finally came, and every tomorrow will show us for one of two things. What's our readiness to face whatever comes, or what's our lack of readiness to face whatever comes. One of two. What's our readiness or our lack of readiness? That truth is that it's up to each of us individually to make our own reality. The tagline for this podcast is the work and worth of a man. That means that we design our worth through our work. Remember, tomorrow is going to look like something to everybody. We have the power to position ourselves for certain outcomes. I don't believe in that magic, name it and claim it nonsense, but I believe active vision is a crucial part of a man's framework. We are visionaries. Look down the road and see what's coming. What will the challenge be this week, next week, next year? We're visionaries. Skyview 2022. Going back over 2022, let's look at this 2-minute mashup from the Mojo.com YouTube channel. They do an excellent job summarizing major news events. Check out their channel, and we'll be right back to discuss it. Check this out.
Number 10, the inflation surge. Unfortunately, going out came with the revelation that gas prices reached a national high of $5 per gallon on average. The recent inflation surge doesn't end with the astronomical cost of gasoline. Between May 2021 and May 2022, housing prices rose 5.5%, food prices rose 11.9%, and energy prices rose 34.6% in the U.S. June 2022, it was reported that world inflation rose 6.7%, 2 times the average from 2010 to 2020. Number 9, the rise of Omicron. The Omicron variant has been the most consistent reminder throughout 2022. First discovered in South Africa on November 24, 2021, Omicron became the main strain in the United States by late March 2022. Number 8, Boris Johnson resigns.
And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
Number 6, Elon Musk buys Twitter. Number 3, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Number 2, Roe v. Wade overturned. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few other news stories that rocked the world in 2022. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. The U.S. West faces its worst dry spell in 1,200 years. Number 1, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Putin's actions have not only affected Europe, but the rest of the world as well. Circling back to our number 10 entry, the invasion has also increased inflation, leading to higher prices for wheat, corn, and oil.
Also, just recently it went from Kyrie to Kanye to Chappelle to Trump's 2024 announcement to Russia, Ukraine, North and South Korea, the tanking of the crypto market and the FTX exchange. Do y'all know how much money evaporated from that market? There's about $500 billion gone in the last year alone. Then there's the recurring mass layoff at tech and media companies, to say nothing of inflation and housing chaos in the country. There's the recurring things that are going on all over the world. We see this globally. There's surging crime in major cities, with many people having short fuses because their situation is a challenge. Hey, that could be you. If it is you, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you find something in this video that helps you along the way. Here's a hint how we know it's going to be a challenging year with a lot of stuff coming at us. It's when there is no or very little sense of ease at the beginning of the year. When it's like you just carried all your burdens from one year over into the next. Then we know we're at the top of the hill for the new year, and it's only sliding down from there. That's what I think it's going to be like in January 2023. And so we might as well start getting ready now. The first step on this 40-step countdown to the new year is to take a good look at anything and anyone who is out of place with whatever goals you will set for the coming year. I can't tell you who those people are or what those situations are in your life that need change, but you know who and what they are. Or maybe a new focus will put you in the zone with some people and actions just like slip off, fall by the wayside. I call it shaking and shredding. Shaking and shredding. As we can see, if we don't shake things up on our own, they'll be shaken for us. It's an imperative to shake things up and shred some things from our lives, things and people. Hey, the only things we should leave alone is the things we can't change. Everything else is on the table. We got to clean out some spaces and some people and past ways of doing things. Every year I would do a year-end assessment. I round up what happened in the year and think on what I envision for the coming year. In this practice, I will go back over the year or season and do a high-level review of what happened in the year and pick out things I need to move on and change or do better at. Sometimes I realize there were areas I could do better at or do more of. And other times, I need to scale back, shake some things out from my program, and shred others, meaning it was going to take some work to get rid of them. This works for all areas of life, including in relationships. 2, visualize the new year. The mind is a powerful tool. Coming into 2022, my mind was on 3 things. 2022 was supposed to be the year that set me up for making big progress, and it's been just that. The only way we progress is when we set ourselves up for what's to come. Coming into 2022, I had 3 priorities. 1, to start a business and podcast, and here we are, TRU-Man Podcast, let's go. 2, to take a chunk out of debt, and that has happened. And 3, to get on back on my health and fitness, and I did that. I call this applied vision. It's vision with action. There were challenges, things that came along to take me off my path, but I overcame those to press forward. And sometimes when the low period comes, it's best to not rock the boat. Slow down, maintain stability, pause momentum until we come out of the woods, and then push again. It's like letting a storm pass before we go out and face the elements again. When we set our mind with vision and a mind map before the challenges come, when the challenges come, we'll get right back on track. And that's how applied vision works. There's a saying that the universe conspires with a person who has made up their mind. And once we make up our minds using applied revisions, we'll see results. We'll see it. Some of you already use it as a strategy. Some of you have done it. If you have, share your experience, share your insights, leave a comment, let me know. But applied vision is effective for the year to come. Think about Kanye. Don't you think that's what he was talking about? What he was doing when he talked about running in 2024? Don't you think that all high-level people who see results in their life and see goals met, levels made, advancement done, they use this applied vision? We're going to talk more about this as we continue with these series. Watch when we come back with episode 2. We're going to park this right here. This has been Ray Black, your life coach of encouragement, the TRU-Man Podcast. Let's go!